So, good afternoon students, welcome back to once again chemistry class. So, already you know this is Panchnath Patil, right? Okay, in the last 13th lecture in the previous class, see, yesterday I told you regarding especially about quantum numbers, right? And after quantum numbers, that means possible values of n, l, m and s. I discussed with you later, that is shapes of the orbitals. S orbitals are spherical in shape, okay. P orbitals are dumbbell in shape, D orbitals are double dumbbell in shape, and F orbitals, they are complicated in the nature, right? Okay. Then I discussed with you difference between orbit and orbital, right? So what is orbit, students? So orbit is an imaginary path of an electron around the nucleus, where probability of finding electron is imaginary path of an electron around the nucleus, right? Whereas orbital is the three-dimensional region in the space where there is a probability of finding electron maximum around the nucleus. That is called orbital. Okay, right. Then maximum number of electrons in any orbit or shell is 2n square, is given by 2n square. Whereas maximum number of electrons in orbital is 2. All orbital can accommodate only 2 electrons. Why? Because electron can spin in only 2 directions, that is clockwise and anti-clockwise directions. Okay students, then I told you orbits are circular in shape. Whereas orbitals may be spherical, may be dumbbell, or may be double dumbbell. Because I told you already, S orbitals are spherical, P orbitals are dumbbell, D orbitals are double dumbbell. Okay. Then lastly I told you, according to Bohr's concept of orbit, it is possible to determine exact position and exact momentum of a subatomic particle like electron simultaneously and accurately. But according to orbital, it is not possible. That is by Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Okay, it is impossible to determine exact position and exact momentum of, that is, electron simultaneously and accurately. Okay, these are the differences I have given in the previous class. So lastly students, let us move on to next rules controlling electronic configuration of elements. Very importantly, right? Rules controlling or rules governing electronic configuration of elements. Let us see one by one. Rules controlling electronic configuration of elements. Okay, rules controlling electronic configuration of elements. What are these? Let us see. Number 1, Aufbau principle. Aufbau's principle. Okay, so read as how it is read? Aufbau's principle, first one, which already studied in high school. Then second, we'll call it as N plus L rule. N plus L rule, which is also called Bohr-Varil's rule. Okay, that is N plus L rule or Bohr-Varil's rule. Then third, Pauli's exclusion principle. Pauli's exclusion principle. Okay, and fourth, Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Right? So these are the 4 rules. If you understand and apply, you can write electronic configuration of elements from atomic number 1 to atomic number up to last, that is atomic number even 118 elements also, right? So students, let us understand one by one what is their statement and how they are helpful in writing electronic configuration of elements. That is Aufbau principle, that is the second one, N plus L rule, okay, that is also called Bohr-Varis rule. Then Pauli's exclusion principle, and Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, right? Okay, let us see one by one. The first one, that is Aufbau principle. What does the Aufbau principle states and how it's help us in writing electronic configuration of elements, right? Okay. The first one, Aufbau principle. What is the statement? See, statement is this: Aufbau's principle states that electrons okay, enter into various orbitals, how? According to their increasing energy levels. Right? This is the statement. Electrons enter into various orbitals. How? Students, according to their increasing energy levels. So what is the statement? Let us understand what is the meaning of this statement. Electrons, how they enter? According to their increasing energy levels. That means first electrons, they enter into lowest possible energy, then they will occupy the highest possible energy. देखो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स पहले क्या होता है, लोअर एनर्जी ऑर्बिटल में ऑक्युपाई करेगा, बाद में हाईएस्ट एनर्जी ऑर्बिटल. ನೋಡಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೋವರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ, ಓಕೆ, ಹೋಗಿ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೈಯರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತವೆ. The next question arises, students, sir, how to come to know that which orbital is having lower energy, which orbital is having higher energy? That is only that will come to know by second rule, N plus L rule. The N plus L rule or Bohr-Varis rule will help us in calculating energy of orbitals, energy associated with the orbitals, right? Okay, there are two rules. Let us will study one by one. But before that, I will first complete Moller's diagram, which is related to this Aufbau principle only. Okay, right. Actually, Aufbau is a German word. Okay, Aufbau is a German word. It is a German word. Accordingly, Aufbau in Indian means Aufbau means here meaning is to build up. So what we are building up, students, that's only Aufbau. The meaning in Indian meaning, it is to build up. What we are building here, we are building the electronic configuration of elements. ನೋಡಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂತಾರೆ, electronic विन्यासा, electron ಗಳ ವಿನ್ಯಾಸ, right? देखो हम क्या build करने जा रहे हैं, electronic configuration को, right? So Aufbau means to build up. Let us see what is the statement. Once again I will repeat: electrons enter into various orbitals according to their increasing energy levels. Okay, increasing energy levels. Let us understand now, still more clear, with the help of Moller's diagram, which you already know in high school, but still once again it's a repetition. Suppose if you start with 1s, 2s, okay, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, maximum 8s. Okay, then sorry, let us we will go like this: 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s. Then 2p, 3p, 4p, 5p, 6p, 7p. Accordingly, 3d, 4d, 5d, maximum 6d. Then 4f and 5f. Right? These are the various orbitals, available energy orbitals. Okay, first the electron enters into 1s, then 2s, 2p, right? Then 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s, 4d, 5p, 6s, 4f, 5d, 7p, 8s. Accordingly, 5f, 6d, 7p and 8s. Like this, electrons will go on fill up according to their what? Increasing energy levels. Okay, let us see one by one. First, see, electron enter into 1s, right? Then 2s, then 2p according to this, right? Then once again after 2p it is 3s. Okay, once again electrons will enter here, 3p, 4s, right? After 4s once again 3d, right? I will just continue 4s. Okay, sorry, 3d, okay, 3p, 4s. After 4s we have got 3d, 4p, okay, 3d, 4p, 5s, then 4d, 5p, 6s, right? Then 4f, 5d, after 5d, 6p, 7s, even 5f, right? 6d, 7p and lastly 8s. Like this, electrons they will enter, right? According to their what? Increasing energy levels. This is the, according to Rauch-Bohr principle, electrons they will arrange from 1s to 8s. Please remember this, students, very very important, and this has been asked one time. Okay, that is in IIT also. Increasing energy levels of orbitals, that is from 1s to 8s. That you can remember only by using what? What is this is called? This is called Moller's diagram. Moller's energy level diagram, with which we can predict the energy associated with the various orbitals, right? See, 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s, 4d, 5p, 6s, 4f, 5d, 6p, 7s, 5f, 6p, 7p and accordingly lastly 8s. And I told you in atomic structure, that is in Bohr's model, there are infinity number of energy levels, out of which we are only what? Known up to 8s. Because in periodic table, how many elements we are having, students? Now how many we are studying? 116 to 118 elements. Please try to remember, right? Until today we are following this only, Rauch-Bohr principle. Right? Another method is also there, that is called shell rule, KLMN shell rule. According to shell, you studied in high school, and this is according to Rauch-Bohr principle. So please don't get any confusion. You may use any one. So atomic number from 1 to 54, if you want to write electronic configuration without any mistake, you can use this. But above 54, generally it is difficult to remember up to 116 to 118, right? So in that case, please students follow K11 shell rule. And K11 shell rule you can follow even for deriving general electronic configuration of S block element, P block element, D block element and even F block elements. Okay? Because it is a problem of every student which rule to be followed, above or K11. Okay? You want to write higher atomic number, shell rules. And if you want to go for lower 1 to 54, you can use this. Okay? According to shell also, please try to remember note point. According to shell, that is K element shell, you can write like this: 1s, 2s, okay, 2p, 3s, 3p, 3d, okay, then 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f. Remember, okay, like this we can write up to 1s, then 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 3d, 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f, right? Even 5s, 5p, 5d, 5f. Okay, after this even you can also write 6x, 6p, 6d and 6f. Still work is that is going on, incomplete series. Then you can write here 7s, 7p, right? 70 is not there, therefore 8s. This is according to shell, that is KLMN shell. We can follow even this for writing electronic configuration of elements from atomic number 1 to atomic number 118. Higher atomic number above xenon, that is above 54. Up to 54 you can write this. See, if you want to derive the general electronic configuration lastly for S block, P block, D block and F block, you have to depend on this one. Okay, especially in CBSE syllabus they will use this only in high schools, and for state level they will use this Aufbau principle, okay, with the help of this. But if you want to know this, you have to draw this diagram. First 1s to 8s, then 2p to 7p, then 3d to 6d, then 4f, 5f, not 6f, right? These are the available orbitals. Then first 1s, then 2s, right? Then 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s, 4d, 5p, 6s, 4f, 5d, 6p, 7s, 5f, 6d, 7p and accordingly 8s. If you know this, you can write electronic configuration of any elements with atomic number 1 to atomic number 118. It's like a software for writing electronic configuration, this one. Okay, right. Just I will show you one example. See here. Suppose if you are given unknown atomic number, write the electronic configuration of elements with atomic number. Let us take 103. You are given 103, right? So now for this you should know capacity of S orbital is 2, P orbital is 6, D orbital is how much? 10 and F orbital is 14. I repeat, S orbital can accommodate only 2, P 6, D 10, F 14. Why? Because there is 1s orbital, 3p orbitals, 5d orbitals, 7f orbital. Each orbital accommodate only 2 electrons. That's why that's the limit. Using that you can go on filling it. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, okay, and 3d10, 4p6, 5s2, 4d10, 5p6, okay, 6s2, then 4f14, 5d10, 6p6. But now you can stop here and count the electrons. See, 2, 4, 10, 12, 18, 20, 30, 36. Okay, 38, 48, 54, 54, 56, 70, 80, okay, 86, 88, 88 plus 14 if you write here, okay. 98 and 102. We need 103. So last electron enters here. 6d1. Like this, if you know this, you can write electronic configuration of any element with a higher atomic number. फिर स्टूडेंट समझो, अगर आपको ये मोलर एनर्जी लेवल के डायग्राम के हेल्प से अगर ये आपको इंक्रीजिंग लेवल में लिखा तो राइट एस पी डी एंड एफ का कैपेसिटी आपको मालूम रहा तो इजीली अब क्या है इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन कितना भी बड़ा नंबर का रहने दो आराम से लिख सकते हैं राइट. ನೋಡಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದು ಇವನ್ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ದೊಡ್ಡದಿದ್ರು ಈ ಮೋಲಸ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇಂದ ನೀವು ಬರೆದಾಗ ಆರಾಮ್ಸೆ ಎಸ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಪಿ ಡಿ ಎಫ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಆರಾಮ್ಸೆ ಈ ತರ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಇವನ್ ಕೆ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ರೈಟ್. Okay, so don't get confused. So please remember, you may use number one. Generally you get confused. Whether up 54 or you can use this K element shell rule for writing electronic configuration of elements. Okay, students? Right. Okay, now I will tell you regarding how these are really correct. So how to come to know that orbitals are filled like this only. Which orbital is having more energy and which orbital is having less energy. Okay, that only I will explain. Please concentrate here very carefully. That's why I have not erupted this Morse diagram. I will show you now. See, suppose in N plus L rule, second one. N plus L rule will help us in what? Helping. That means energy associated with the orbital is calculated by using N plus L rule, which is also called Bohr-Baris rule. Let us see. First rule. If the value of N plus L is more, okay, L plus L is more, orbital is having more energy. Okay, if the value of N plus L is less, the orbital is having less energy, right? Less energy. If the value of N plus L is more, that is a more energy, and if it is having N plus L value after combining principal and azimuthal, if it is less, then that orbital is having less energy. Accordingly, according to this Bohr principle, first electron enters into lower, then higher. After this you can easily tell, but afterwards, that's why take the help of this rule, which is called Bohr-Baris rule or N plus L rule. Okay, now students, I will tell you the second rule. See, one example I will give you here. See here, 1s, 2s, if you compare N plus L for 1s, see for 1s if you take, always first number is principal quantum number N and this symbol, okay, that is this stands for azimuthal quantum number, this stands for principal quantum number. 1 plus for s orbital value is 0, upon adding it will become 1. Like this for 2s, it is N plus L, just to observe, 2 plus 0 will be 2. So now you can compare which is having more, this one. This is having more energy, higher energy orbital, and this is lower energy orbital. Therefore first electron 1s, then 2s. Then if you compare 2p, N plus L, okay, for 2p, first one 2, for L value for p orbital is 1, I have already given you, this is 3. That's why see when you compare 2s and 2p, 3p is having more, first electron enter into 2s, then 2p, see here. Then if you compare 2p and 3s, this is important, 3s, 3 plus 0, 3, sir both are same, how to compare now? In that case, students go for second rule. What is that second rule? If the orbitals if the orbitals are having, okay, if the orbitals are having same energy, if the orbitals are having the same energy, in that case you have to go for the second rule. This is first one. Second rule, just I will write here. If the value of n plus L is same or identical, then orbital with higher value of n, point to be noted, higher value of n, okay, higher value of n is having more energy, okay, more energy. See, now I will tell you. Second rule you have to follow. This second rule only when the n plus L value comes to be same. Note, आपको अगर n plus L value एक कंपेयर दोनों ऐड करने के बाद अगर दोनों का ऑर्बिटल का सेम रहा तो कैसा करना सर बोले तो क्या करना, सेकेंड रूल यूज करना. क्या है रूल? If the value of n plus L is comes out to be same, then orbital with higher value of n means principal quantum number higher रहा तो उसको ज़्यादा एनर्जी, लोअर रहा तो कम एनर्जी. ನೋಡಿ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ n ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಮೋರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, ಯಾವುದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಲೆಸ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ರೈಟ್? ಈ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಶುಡ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಇಂಟು ವಾಟ್, ಲೋವರ್ ದೆನ್ ಹೈಯರ್. ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ನೋಡಿ, now you can tell which is having higher value of n, 3s. So first electron where enters 2p, then 3s, because it is having more energy. Just see here 2p, 3s. Like this, if you go on calculating all, okay, it is same only. It is all based on what, n plus L rule. That's why I told you second rule is very very important in what writing the Mohr's diagram. Mohr's diagram and this above principle from 1s to 8s. And this n plus L rule in NCERT textbook they are not given. This is also called what, Bohr-Varis rule. Bohr-Varis rule. Remember, okay, Bohr-Varis rule. Right. What is the first statement, student, for n plus L? So what is the significance? With the help of n plus L rule, we can predict the energy associated with the orbitals. If the value of n plus L is more, that is having more energy. If they are having different values, if they are comes to be same, then the orbital with the higher value of n will be having more energy. Okay, right? This is about n plus L rule, which is called second rule. With the help of this, we can build up from 1s to 8s. Okay. Now randomly I will select another one. 5f and 6d. Let us see which is having more. And for 5f, see n plus L value. See here 5 L value for f orbital. L value for f orbital is 3. How much it is? 8f. Okay, 8f. Next 5f and chosen 6d. n plus L value for 6d, students. N plus L value for 6d is 6 plus here also L value 2 comes to be 8. Right? So here also second rule applicable. Second rule applicable because values comes to be same. Which is having higher value of n? 6. See, first electron enters into, that is what, 4f, 5f, then 6d. Why? Lower energy, and this is higher energy. Like that. Each and every one they are built up on this n plus L rule only. That's why in theory also they will ask you what is the significance of n plus L rule. With the help of n plus L rule, we can compare the energy between the orbitals, which is having lower, which is having higher. ನೋಡಿ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಗೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. किस ऑर्बिटल को कम एनर्जी होगा और किसका ज्यादा होगा वो कंपेयर करने के लिए हम n plus L रूल यूज करेंगे. ओके, उसको हम बोर-भरी रूल भी कहते हैं. राइट? ओके, सो दैट्स अबाउट Bohr-Varis rule, which is a very very important. Remember, and this arrangement of the orbitals according to their increasing energy level, which was asked in the year 92. It was asked in one time in IIT. Okay, increasing order of energy levels, that is from 1s to 8s. This is how to remember, sir. Use Mohr's diagram. right? In high school already studied, use that and just accordingly write it and remember. Okay. If you don't remember this, you can use KLMN shell rule. 1s2 successively 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 3d, like that up to 8s. Okay. Right. So once again I am repeating, students, don't make confusion. Both the rules can be used to write electronic configuration of elements. Okay, which is easier for you, that you can use. Right? Generally, remembering this may be confusion. So that's why try to use KLMN shell if it is above atomic number 54. Up to 54 you can use this easily. Okay? Right. With this, so two rules we have completed, students. What are those? Above principle and n plus L rule. I'll repeat the statement. What is the statement of above principle? Actually, above is a German word according to which to build up. What we are building up? Electronic configuration of elements. Accordingly, what it states? It accordingly states that electrons enter into the various orbitals. How? According to their increasing energy levels. Increasing energy levels. What are those various orbitals? That's only 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s, 4d, 5p, 6s, 4f, 5d, 6p, 7s, 5f, 6d, 7p and 8 years. Okay? Right. And these are all built up on what? N plus L rule. That is Bose-Bury's rule. If the value of N plus L is more, then that orbital is having more energy. If there comes to be different values. If they are having same, then the orbital with the higher value of N will be having more energy. And according to above, always electron enter into lowest possible then highest possible energy orbitals. Right? That's why I told you, students, to understand this you should know compulsorily quantum numbers which I discussed in the previous lecture. Right? Values of N, L and M, which are very very essential here. Without that you can't understand these rules. Okay? Right. And for theory also, so many times it is important for 1 mark. State above principle. And what is the significance of N plus N? Okay? Right. Now let us move on to two more, that is rules. Pauli's exclusion principle and Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Pauli's exclusion principle and Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Pauli's exclusion principle. Okay, what it states, students? That is third one. See, Pauli's exclusion principle will give us idea about the values taken. That means N, L, M and S you already studied, all the 4 quantum numbers. Whether the values of these all the quantum numbers same or different for 2 electrons. So why only 2 electrons? Because orbital can accommodate only 2 electrons. Why? Because electron can spin in only 2 directions, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Right? So statement, it states that, what is the statements? See, it states that no two electrons, okay, no 2 electrons of an element can have the values of all the set of quantum numbers, that is N, L, M and S, quantum numbers same. Okay, I will repeat what are the statements. No 2 electrons of an element can have the values of all the set of quantum numbers same. They can't be same. Means they may be same with respect to N, L and M. They may be same with respect to principal quantum number N, azimuthal quantam number M and magnetic quantum number M. But they compulsory differ in spin quantum number. Why? Because electron can spin in 2 directions, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Right? So first one example I will give here. Suppose if you are given an element sodium, Na, right? Atomic number is how much? 11. Write electronic configuration. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, and this is 3s1. For writing electronic configuration, if you are asked to write the values of N, L, M, and S, please write. What is the question? Write the values of N, L, M, and S, spin quantum number for last electron, or it is also called valence electron. Okay, valence electron of sodium. If this is the question asked, then you should be able to write very easily. See, this is electronic configuration. Up to this, see, 2p6 neon completely filled, 3s1, right? So how do you represent here? 3s1, last one. See, last electron of a sodium is 3s1. I will once again repeat here. See, sodium 11, right? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. Accordingly, if you write in block diagram, it is unpaired. These are all paired. 2s2, and this is 2p6. Because in p orbital px, py, pz, right? That's why 2p6. Then 3s1 accordingly. If they ask you write the values of for this last electron, then see, first always letter is N, that is orbit number, cell number 3. L value, see here, don't see this, see yes, for S orbital L value is 0. Please try to remember, once again repeating, S, P, D and F. This you have to remember from quantum numbers, right? That's why for S symbol, L value is 0. If L value is 0, automatically M value is 0, because M value can take from minus L, 0 to plus L. Then unpaired spin quantum number, upward arrow mark, as I told you yesterday class only, plus half if it is upward, and if it is downward it is minus half. Always downward can't be directly, okay? Therefore plus half. So this is how we can write values of all the quantum numbers. See here written N, L, M and S. After observing N, L, M and S, tell me whether they are same, students? Whether all they are same? Whether all they are same? No. See, N is different, L is different, M sometimes, L and M may be sometimes, not always. But spin quantum number definitely they will differ. Okay? So this is about Pauli's exclusion principle. Remember, students, once again, what is the statement? No two electrons of an element. Only why two, sir? Because an orbital can accommodate either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Only two spins. Therefore, it can accommodate only two electrons. Of an element can have the values of all the set of quantum numbers same. They cannot have. Why? They may be. See, this is the what example I have given. Definitely, see, they will differ in principal, azimuthal, and spin quantum number. That's about Pauli's exclusion principle. Let us will try to come to lastly very important rule, that is called Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Hund's rule. Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Okay. What is Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity will help us. See, this is the last one. Sir, now we have got increasing energy level and how to calculate energy associated with the orbitals with N plus L, and also values by the what Pauli's exclusion principle. But so what is the use of Hund's rule, sir? This rule plays very important role, especially while writing electronic configuration of elements in the block diagrams, in the boxes. Okay, देखो ये boxes में जो आप जो electronic configuration लिखते हैं उस टाइम में ये rule आपको बहुत यूज होगा. Let us see what is the first statement, then with the up. Some examples. Statement is simple. It states that in orbitals having same energy, okay, in orbitals having same energy means see, this can also be shortcut, we can call it as orbitals having same energy, they are called as degenerate orbitals. Remember the word degenerate orbitals. Okay, in case of orbitals having same energy or in case of degenerate orbitals, in one word you can tell. Electrons start pairing. Electrons start pairing. Electrons start pairing unless and until all the electrons, sorry, all the orbitals are singly occupied. What is the meaning of this sentence? Let us go with the example. What are degenerate orbitals for students? You should be very clear. Degenerate orbitals means orbitals having same energy or identical energy. They are called as degenerate orbitals. For example, s orbitals, only one, no question of degeneracy. P orbitals, there are three. What are those? Px, Py, Pz. We can give Px, Py, Pz. These are called degenerate orbitals having same energy. Then d orbitals, dx square minus y square, dz square, dxy, dyz and dxz or zs. Okay, like this, even f orbitals also. 1s, 3p, 5d, 7f orbitals. These are example of what? Degenerate orbitals. And even remember students, just like I told you, if the value of n plus l comes to be same, those orbitals are also called degenerate orbitals. Remember. Okay. Right. Now just lastly with the example, I will tell you here with the example. Suppose if you are writing from, let us go from boron. Boron atomic number 5, right? 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Right? Okay. You can write like this in a block diagrams. 2p1 means 2px1. Okay, then carbon 6, 1s2, 2s2. Okay, then 2px1, 2py1 and 2pz0. Carbon. After carbon, if you go for nitrogen, 7, 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. In the block, 1s2, 2s2, 2p3, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. So according to this rule, 3. They will occupy singly like this in degenerate orbitals. Okay, only single, not at a time pairing. Now, if you take oxygen atomic number 8, now what you can write? 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. Students, see here, now the meaning of pairing will come to very clearly. What is that? Just observe here, what you written here? 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. Okay, next क्या है? Pairing start हो गया, देखिए इधर 2px2, 2py1, 2p क्या हो गया? 2pz1. Right? ये ऑक्सीजन का हो गया. Like this, if you write for chlorine, I will write here, please don't mind. 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. See, 1s2, 2s2, right? 2p5, 2p5. First x1, y1, z1. 2px2 we already done in oxygen. Now next one, 2py2. Like this pairing will go what step by step, and this is 2pz1. Okay. And last, if you come to neon, that is atomic number 10, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Here almost all you see here when they gets paired up. 2s already paired up, right? 2p6. Please try to remember. First x1, y1, z1. 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1, right? And lastly, what do you get here? 2px2, 2py2, 2pz2. देखो 2px2, 2py2, 2pz2. So like this, we can write electronic configuration of elements using this Hund's rule, which is very, very important. See here. See 2px1 for boron, right? Then 2px2 for carbon. First occupy singly, occupy singly, occupy singly. 2p3, then 2p4 pairs, 2p5 pairs, and 2p6 all pairs. Means from this example, what you come to know? Electrons always they enter how? Upward arrow mark, then downward arrow mark. It will be upward plus up, downward minus up. Okay. This is the significance of what? Hund's rule. What it states? See, in orbitals having same energy, that is degenerate orbitals, electrons, how they start pairing? They start pairing unless and until they are singly occupied. First they occupy singly, then pairing starts. Okay. Now the best example in day-to-day life I will give you. Students, suppose if you are coming to our college and you opted a bus, okay, for that transportation you opted bus, right? Okay. When bus reaches to your destiny, right, or to a stop, what you will do normally? You will run and enter into bus and sit where exactly? To the window side. Okay. Which side? Window side will prefer to. The window side will prefer to sit here. Besides, you are having another one seat, right? Okay. Then, if the bus goes to the next, that is what we call it as stop. Then another student will come and he will occupy here, like that. Okay. So this is a very common example in day-to-day life we can share. ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಈಗ कभी भी देखो स्टूडेंट्स अब बस ऑफ किया तो अब कॉलेज आने के लिए, तो बस में आते ही क्या करते हैं आप भाग के सीधा विंडो साइड क्या करते हैं? सीट पकड़ते हैं. नेक्स्ट आपका बी साइड का सीट आपका दोस्त बैठे, ऐसा है. ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ ನೋಡಿ ಮೊದಲು ಈಗ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಈ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಹೋಗೋ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ನೋಡಿ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಂಡೋ ಸೈಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ವಿಂಡೋ ಸೈಡ್ ಕೂರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಸೈಡ್ ಇಂದ ಸೀಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂರ್ತೀರಿ, ಯಾರು ಕೂರ್ತಾರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಲೈಕ್ ಇದ್ದವರಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂರಿಸ್ಕೊತೀರ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಪೇರ್, ರೈಟ್? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Now, which is a very, very important and fourth most and important rule, which tells about what? Pairing of electrons. So lastly we will write it up. In orbitals having same energy, that is degenerate orbitals, electrons start pairing unless and until all the orbitals are singly occupied. So this is the examples to convince you how they occupy singly. See here, first, then second, then third, okay, then fourth, then fifth, and then lastly sixth. I will stop here. In the next class I will still more give you information about this importance and write electronic configuration. Okay, so have a nice day and thank you.